Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the January rescheduled to February 2nd school board meeting. Tonight is Monday, February 2nd. We are at the Eddington Elementary School. Time is 6:33. If everybody could please join me and stand up and we will salute our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. We could have a moment of silence, reflect on something that's important to us. Thank you. I'd like to welcome our new board members from the town of Clifton. To my left, Jamie Youngblood. From the town of Eddington, over on my right, Whitney Gould-Cookson. Also on my right, from the town of Holden, Juliana Prentice. And also on my right, from the town of Holden, Chip Haskell. Welcome all of you. At this point, we'll move on to the first item on the agenda, which is a call for a motion. Put it on there. Call for a motion to approve the October 27th. All right. This doesn't match. All right, we're going to stick to the posted agenda. Looking to go into an executive session to discussion of contract negotiations pursuant to 1 MRSA 40560. Do I have a motion to do so?
So moved.
I have a motion from Amy Hart. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Rachel Downs. Is there discussion? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote from the superintendent.
Brittany?
Yes.
Juliana?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Whitney? Jamie?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes. The vote is 8-0. Motion passes. We will enter into executive session and resume shortly. Thank you. All right, I'm going to call us back into regular session. The time is 7:01. This time, I would entertain any possible action regarding executive session. Rachel.
Yes, I would like to make a motion that we approve the contract for the RSU 63 Administrative Collective Bargaining Unit. Second.
I have a motion from Rachel. I have a second from Brittany. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote from the superintendent.
Brittany?
Yes.
Juliana?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Whitney?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes. Yes. Vote is 8-0. The motion passes. Thank you to the board. At this point, I will be looking for a motion for the approval of the minutes for October 27th, 2025 board meeting.
So moved.
Motion from Rachel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Juliana. Is there discussion?
I just have a question when it comes time to vote. The new members of the board, do they abstain or are they able to vote since they've had time to read them?
They may have been at the meeting to watch it.
Okay, that was.
I will leave that up to their opinion. If they
Okay.
choose to abstain or to vote.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
Any other discussion? I'm going to do a show of hands of this. All those in favor, please raise your hand. I have all those opposed. Abstain. Okay, I have 7 in favor and I have 1 abstention, which is Chip Haskell. We do have to record for those new board members. We do have to record any no votes or abstentions for the minutes. Understood. Next, I'll move on to the approval of the minutes for the November 24th, 2025 board meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion from Amy. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Rachel. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed? I have 1 abstention, 7 in favor. Abstention is Chip Haskell. Moving on to the approval of the minutes for the December 8th, 2025 special board meeting. Do I have a motion to approve them?
So moved.
A motion from Rachel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Juliana. Is there discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And we have a unanimous vote, 8-0. All right, moving on. Is there any recognition and or awards of student staffs and others that the board would like to share? Well, I, for one, would like to thank the entire staff at Eddington. I'd like to thank the fire department of Eddington, the Holden Fire Department, our administrative staff, as well as many involved at Holbrook that I won't even begin to name because I'll forget some of the staff there. We did have an evacuation last week. I think it was handled very quickly, and thankfully it was not dangerous, but I just want to commend Sheila, our superintendent, and all of our staff for doing an incredibly professional job under some pretty extreme circumstances. So congratulations to them. Yes, Rachel.
I would like to also just recognize, the math teachers at Holbrook, as well as the math team. They had their first math meet this year and came in very high in competition. I can't remember exactly where each grade finished. I know. I can't remember exactly where each grade finished, but I know like 8th grade had a 2nd place team. 7th grade, I believe, had a 3rd place team, and this was with 500 students in the state. So I think our Holbrook school is doing a fantastic job, and our students there and the math team is doing an amazing job.
Thank you to them, and thanks for sharing. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move on. To acceptance of gifts and donations. We've had some great gifts come in. First, socks, hats, gloves, and mittens donated by the North Brewer Eddington United Methodist Church to the Eddington Elementary School. So thank you to them. A books donation from Linda Pollard to the Eddington Elementary School Library. And thanks to Linda. Winter coat donation from the Charleston Church to the Holden Elementary School. Many thanks to the Charleston Church for that donation. Hats and mittens donated by Cub Scouts to the Holden Elementary School. Thank you to the Cub Scout. I'm assuming it's the local troop. Does anybody know? Yep, the Orrington. Okay. Not Orrington. We're in Holden. Clifton and Eddington. Thank you for that. And then we had a pallet of drinking water donated by G&M Market to Holden Elementary School. Thank you to G&M for that donation. And we also had a second pallet of drinking water donated by the town of Holden and Poland Springs to the Holden Elementary School. And that would get us into those donations. And the reason for the pallet donation was due to the PFAS issue that you might have heard about. That I think we've got some important updates. So I will be looking for a motion if this board so feels necessary to add that to new business when we get to it.
Oh, can I give one more gift?
If we have another gift,
One
sure.
more gift. We have a $100 donation by the Win-Win Thrift Store to the Holden Garden Club.
Oh, thank you, Win-Win Store, for that donation. Very generous. So I am looking for a motion to accept these gifts and donations to the district. A motion from Juliana. Do I have a second?
Yes.
Second from Chip. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. We have no presentation scheduled for tonight, so next we'll move on to questions and comments from the public. Thank you for your interest in speaking to the RSU 63 School Board. During public comment, any individual is welcome to discuss their views on any educational item on or off the agenda. All wishing to speak during questions and comments from the public will be asked to sign up on the form by the door and seek recognition from the chair when it's time for public questions and or comments. Speakers must state their name and address. Please limit yourself to 3 minutes, as others may wish to have a turn. The board will hear but not discuss or act on matters not already on the agenda. However, we will receive comments for consideration. And please remember that no complaints or allegations will be allowed at board meetings concerning any person employed by the school district or against particular students. Personnel matters or complaints concerning students or staff issues will not be considered in a public meeting, but will be referred as established through appropriate policies and procedures. Thank you. First up tonight, we have Sarah Maximic from Bangor.
Hi, my name is Sarah Maximic. I'm from Bangor. Dear members of the RSU 63 School Board, my name is Sarah Maximic and I'm a second grade teacher at Holden Elementary. I'm here today on behalf of the second and third grade teachers to propose that for the 2026-2027 school year, third grade be organized into 4 classes instead of 3. Our current second grade cohort is large compared to recent years with class sizes of 17 to 18 students, and it's a particularly behavior-intensive group. As second grade teachers, we are finding it increasingly difficult to meet the demands of teaching the required curriculum while also managing the level of behavior we are experiencing throughout the day. The majority of our students struggle to regulate their bodies and voices. Lessons are frequently interrupted as we pause instruction multiple times to redirect behavior and regain students' attention. As a result, valuable instruction time is lost and students are missing important learning opportunities due to constant distractions from their classmates. If this group were split into 4 classes as they move into third grade, we believe both students and teachers would see meaningful benefits. Smaller class sizes would allow for increased focus, more individualized support, and improved classroom management. This change would help create a learning environment where students are better able to engage with the curriculum, build positive behaviors, and experience greater academic and social success. Importantly, this proposal would not require hiring additional staff or increasing the budget for next year. At present, there are only 2 first grade classes, which allows for the reassignment of 1 teacher to third grade. This adjustment would make it possible to support this group of students more effectively without impacting the district's budget. This proposal comes with the support of not only the second and third grade teams, but also our specialist teachers, school social worker, and math and reading interventionists. Thank you for your time, consideration, and continued support of our students, teachers, and school community.
Thank you, Sarah, for those comments. We'll definitely take that under advisement. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Tom Copeland from Holden.
Hi, I'm on the Holden Town Council, and I just want to take a minute to say that we all understand and appreciate what the board has gone through lately and what they face in the future. So I want to thank the members that have been serving, but particularly I want to thank those that have stepped up to serve and it's really appreciated. You folks have the toughest job in local government, and it's appreciated. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate your kind words. That was all we had on the sign-up sheet for tonight. We will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is dates of next meetings. And where we have some new board members, and we had a postponed school board meeting last week, I will preface this by, if you look up the updated agenda on the website, there are some asterisks there because some of these new committees require some assignments tonight. So those dates may change, but we will follow the rules for public posting, and all of these meetings, again, are open to the public, and we welcome your attendance and your input. The Advisory Committee on Efficiency met tonight and will also meet again prior to the next board meeting on February 23rd at 5:30 p.m. The Policy Committee is tentatively scheduled for February 9th at 4 p.m. at Holbrook School. The Budget and Finance Committee meeting is tentatively scheduled for February 11th at 4 p.m. at Holbrook Middle School. The next board meeting is scheduled for February 23rd, 2026, 6:30 p.m. And that one will be at Holbrook. And then I'll just throw this out there. We will have this out probably after tonight. I'm just waiting to hear from one other board member, but we are planning on a special board meeting in March. And it's either going to be March 12th or March 19th. And we're going to have two important topics that night to cover. One, we're going to have the MSMA Executive Director come up and do a board workshop orientation that will be open to the public. And then last fall, if you remember, this board voted to hold a teacher town hall with our staff. That will also be open to the public. But I think it's important that we follow through on that promise and work to establish good communications and relationships with all of our staff that we have. So we'll be looking forward to one of those dates, and we'll have that posted probably within the next few days. So thank you. On the budget and finance, we did not obviously have a report as we have yet to hire a business manager, but we did have the financials that were sent out in the board packet. Superintendent's report. Superintendent Caldwell, did you have anything to add to your report that was distributed?
I do not.
All right, thank you. I would be looking for a motion to accept the reports from the committees, administrators, and the superintendent.
Make a motion to approve the reports as written.
Second.
A motion to accept them. Could I have you amend that motion to accept them as we've determined at a previous board meeting? We're not necessarily approving them or denying them after legal counsel. It's merely, they are all FOIAble, all those documents, and so therefore it's whether or not we're going to include them in the minutes that we post on our website is what this is doing. We can certainly talk to any of the reports that maybe we don't agree with or have questions to.
No, thank you.
So,
I will amend my motion to accept the reports as written.
fantastic. I have a motion to accept the reports as distributed in the board packet. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a second. So motion was Chip, second was Rachel. Is there any discussion with any of the reports included in the board packet? Anything you'd like to say? Question? Hearing none. All those in favor, please raise your hand. We have it unanimous, all 8 for, and 0 against. Moving on, old business, standing committee on curriculum. This was originally scheduled for the November meeting. So I will give the public and this board kind of a quick recap about this. I believe there's a policy that was in your board packet to review. Hopefully you've done so. BDE. If we go back to January of 2021, This board at that time voted to reestablish a standing committee on curriculum. That motion did pass. We have been appointing people to a standing curriculum. We have a policy that conflicts with that. Our policy, B&E, indicates that this is a advisory committee that the superintendent appoints. Also, standing committees can only have school board members on them and only up to 3. It was advised by our legal counsel that we needed to clear this up one way or the other and either update our policy or we could abolish the standing committee and of curriculum and have an advisory committee on curriculum, which is what our policy currently states. I would like to point out that all curriculum decisions are only made by the school board, not by the curriculum committee. So therefore, it would be that's not going to change either way. Only school boards make decisions on curriculum. So I'd like to know what the will and pleasure of this board is to do about this conflict between policy and a vote that was taken in 2021. Brittany.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I feel like we keep the policy the same and, can you hear me?
Just pull that one over. I can, but I don't know that the people in the back can.
I feel like we should keep the policy the same and allow it to be an advisory committee instead of a standing committee. It would be easier to do that than to change the policy.
So is that a motion? So we could get into discussion once we have a motion to do one thing or the other.
I will make a motion to keep the policy the same and to establish an advisory committee for curriculum instead of a standing committee. Did I say it right? Can we change that?
We have both, so maybe a motion to get rid of one or the other maybe would be maybe more clear. I don't know, does the board agree with that? I mean, we could vote against it. I'm just saying, I'm trying to be very clear with what we're trying to do here. Either to abolish the standing committee or to abolish the advisory committee, I think is what I'm looking for a motion on, so that we could get clear direction for this board to move forward, either rewrite the policy or abolish the standing committee and keep the policy. So,
Okay, I'll make a motion to abolish the standing committee for curriculum.
on curriculum. Okay, I have a motion to abolish the standing committee on curriculum. Is there a second? So motion by Brittany, second by Juliana. Discussion. Please speak up. For or against. Love to hear what your thoughts are. Rachel.
Okay, so just for clarification. So for clarification, if we were to vote in favor of this motion, there would no longer be the standing committee of school board members. It would be an advisory committee made up of teachers, the curriculum coordinator, potentially parents, whatever, correct? Like people who actually do the job and went to school and are educated in the field would be making those decisions, not me.
Correct. And
It exists already.
correct. It does. And I think more importantly, it's at the discretion, the committee is at the discretion of the superintendent, the way that it's written now. So it allows her to put administrators on there, teachers, certainly parents if they feel the need, and then they can, talk about the curriculum, what's working in their opinion, what isn't working. And I guess in my mind, what I would recommend to them with the board's support is that maybe a couple of times a year, maybe more, depending on what we want, come and have them make a presentation to us about the curriculum. And if there's changes that they feel that are needed, they can recommend a change that we would then take under consideration and potentially act on. Likewise, there's nothing to stop this board from, taking up an issue that becomes a hot topic for curriculum that we want them to address before a presentation was made as well. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Anyone else?
I'll just say that as a teacher in another district, that would be more in keeping with what other districts do. And I mean, a board member can always attend those meetings and observe. So I think that this is a reasonable and fair move.
Yeah, I would say I see no utility in the standing committee version of this. I think it puts the work in the hands of those that are more qualified to do it.
Just for the benefit of the board and the public, I'll read the paragraph as it currently reads now in Policy BD. Curriculum Committee will review all educational policies, work with staff on curriculum development and revision, student assessment testing results, review feedback from high school administrators and freshmen, surveys regarding 8th grade preparedness for high school, and assume various educational duties which may be assigned to the board. Prior to that, the first part of Section D, it says the technology and the curriculum committees are delegated to appropriate administrators via the superintendent. So that's where that part that I mentioned comes from. Any other discussion? So again, as a reminder, we have a motion and a second to abolish the standing committee on curriculum. At this time, I'm going to call for a vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. And we have a unanimous vote, 8-0. Moving on to new business, I mentioned under the acceptance of gifts and donations that I did have a last-minute PFAS water update, but by rule, we do need a motion to amend the agenda where this is a public meeting. Do I have a motion to amend the agenda for a PFAS water update?
So moved.
Motion from Amy, is there a second?
Second.
It sounds like literally the same time.
Beautiful chorus.
I'm going to say Rachel. It's a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All right. You want me to start? Do you want to start?
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. As many of you know, there was a public posting on our Facebook page and our website, and you've probably heard we do regularly test waters at the schools and in Holden. We did come in just very slightly above the state maximum level of PFAS, 0.2. And so we're required to disclose that and come up with a plan of action. So I really want to commend our maintenance staff and our superintendent for jumping right on this. So it's kind of a two-pronged approach. Actually, I'd also like to recognize one of our Holden selectmen as well for giving us an idea, because it seems that much of 1A in Holden has water issues, believe it or not. And we weren't the first one on 1A to have a PFAS issue. And there are state programs out there that allow you to get grants to deal with this. And so it's kind of a two-prong approach. First and foremost was shut down all of the accessible drinking areas within the school, which we did immediately. We posted signs. Many thanks to the staff for doing that. And then we needed some water, right? So we were very grateful for G&M and the Haas for donating that. They actually gave us the idea of the state funding as well. At that point, we made sure that the kitchen also had a large supply of water to cook with so that our students were safe for every meal that was prepped for them. Short-term solution. There's really only a handful of ways to treat PFAS. You can't bleach a well. You actually have to filter it through charcoal. You have to reverse osmosis it. And then the third that we've learned about is a resin tank with media in it. So initially, we have installed charcoal filters on all of the water fountains, retested them, and
Two of the water fountains.
Oh, two of the water
Two
fountains.
water fountains at Holden that have water filling stations, and Ryan put filters in those so that the water can be used. And
those were retested and came back at what?
0.2.
0.2 as opposed to 20.2, right?
Wow.
So we dropped a full 20 points. It's safe to drink out of those drinking stations. However, we realize some parents may not feel safe doing that, and that's why we've continued to provide bottled water for any student that needs it or requires it. We are also continuing to provide the kitchen with ample amounts of clean water on a daily basis. Long term, it's quite interesting what you have to do to go through to get a system that you would think would be pretty simple, like a water softening system, especially when there's a state grant involved. So there's an application process. There's some engineering involved. There is a design process, and we are currently in the process of putting all of that together. So we have 90 days to come up with a plan, and then a reasonable amount of time to implement it is what I've understand the way that it reads. But we are working on that. It looks as though we've gotten approval for the grant. We're just trying to work out the specifics of it. Like there are some constraints with engineering costs that are on there.
And to be clear, it's not a grant, it's a loan forgiveness program with the state. So you organize and you all agree on the plan, and then they you provide all your invoices and you pay them and they pay you back. So it's not a grant, just to be clear.
Well, if they're paying us back, it would be a grant.
Yeah, but they call it a loan forgiveness program.
But it's zero net cost to the
Yes.
district is what we're aiming to achieve,
Yes.
not spending. It's going to be somewhere between $40,000 and $60,000.
Yeah.
And so we're aiming not to spend $40,000 to $60,000 of the taxpayers' money. Is what our goal. So that's really where we're at right now. We're just trying to get the final numbers together with quotes. We're working with some vendors. We're working with some engineers and trying to get that all put together. Now that brings me to, believe it or not, there are very few firms that engineer this stuff around here that have done it a lot. But we did have one of them that reached out, and I just want to talk about this with the board because I think it's important to cover this and see if there's any objections. So Chip, who is one of our new members from Holden, is an employee of Haley Ward. Haley Ward is the one that did our blueprints for the 3 schools that updated them. They've also done a number of designs for these water treatment systems. So we need to talk about the BCB policy here, which is the disclosure of this to the board and to determine if there's any objection to this district working with Haley Ward in their engineering department. And we can keep Chip completely out of the project. He could be involved in either or, but aside from some end of the year overall company profit sharing, it's not like if they sell us this system, he's going to get a commission check on this. I can assure you of that. But it's important to bring this policy up, to discuss this, and for this board to decide to move forward or not. So I would solicit your feedback.
Can I make a clarifying point too?
You can make a clarifying point.
Also, to keep in mind that there's a plumber involved, an organization that will be the plumbing, and that's a fee, and then there's an engineering cost,
Right.
and that's a fee. So it's 2 different.
So I think initially, I'd like to get the ball rolling with the engineering costs, which I think will come in under the RFP amount that's required for the district, which is $10,000 to get the ball rolling. Once we have a system designed, I think then we can put this out to an RFP as policy requires, unless we want to consider the whole thing as one such. But I would prefer to work separately with this, control the engineering, and then be able to put this out with the specifications that we want, as opposed to a vendor giving us a quote with what they want. And that really needs to get engineering to happen. So what does this board think?
We have to have a motion to discuss it.
Let's have a motion to discuss it. Thank you for the reminder, and then we'll get into the discussion.
I make a motion that we allow, what's the company?
Haley Ward?
Haley Ward to design, engineer the PFAS system needed to correct the issue in Holden.
Second.
A motion from Rachel, a second from Amy to employ with Haley Ward the engineering phase of the PFAS water treatment system at Holden Elementary School. Discussion. Quiet group. Hearing none. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 7 yeses. I'm guessing you're an abstention.
Abstention.
I have 7 yeses and 1 abstention. Abstention, Chip Haskell. Thank you to the board for that. Next, under new business, make sure this matches. We have a review of board committees and committee member assignments. So what we're going to do first is we did have 2 of the 4 members who resigned were elected members of our Budget and Finance Committee. So we need to elect 2 more members to the Budget and Finance Committee. And then both of those members were also our 2 warrant signers. For the public's information and knowledge, the board chair is the backup signer. So we have been paying our bills for the last month and a half or so. And I've been reviewing those just about weekly. So
Fine-tooth comb.
with a fine-tooth comb. Thank you for that, Sheila. Well, it's important to know how we're spending our money. Ideally, and what policy says, in case you haven't reviewed it, is that we should try to have a member from each community represented on budget and finance. That isn't always the case, and it isn't required, and it wasn't the way it actually was with the prior assignments. But at this point, I know we do have a different composition here and some with some experience. So what I'm looking for is a nomination and a second for 2 members. We'll need to do them one at a time to be elected to the Budget and Finance Committee.
I would make a nomination for Juliana Prentice for the Budget and Finance Committee.
I have a nomination for Juliana Prentice for the Budget and Finance Committee. Do I have a second? So I had a motion from Chip. I had a second from Brittany. Is there discussion?
Does she accept? Does she agree?
Against her will.
I was asked the same thing about the board chair. So,
It's a fair question.
you sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor, raise your hand. That is unanimous. That is 1.
I make a motion I nominate Jamie Youngblood as the 3rd member of the Budget and Finance.
I have a motion to nominate Jamie Youngblood to the Budget and Finance Committee. Do I have a second? You were going to raise your hand. I have a motion from Rachel. I have a second from Brittany. Is there any discussion? Are you sure you want to do this?
Give it a go.
All right.
Got it, girl.
All those in favor, please raise your hand.
Wonderful.
That is unanimous. Next up, we need 2 warrant officers who have to be elected members of the Budget and Finance Committee. So that leaves us with Rachel, Jamie, and Juliana as potential candidates. So I would entertain a motion or a nomination to elect. We'll do one at a time.
I nominate Juliana Prentice to be a warrant officer.
I have a nomination from Chip to elect Juliana as a warrant signer for the district.
Second.
I have a second from Rachel. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. And I'm looking for number 2.
I'd like to nominate Rachel to be the 2nd warrant signer for the Budget and Finance.
I have a motion from Amy Hart and a second from Juliana to elect Rachel as the 2nd warrant signer for the district. Is there any discussion there? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. That is unanimous. I will also say, whereas one of our resigning board members was the board chair, it is the school board's chair responsibility to appoint a chair to the committee until one can be duly elected at their next meeting. And I am going to choose to make Rachel the chair until such meeting is had and such election takes place. Would you be willing to accept that?
Yes, I'm willing to accept that.
Thank you. All right, moving on to ACE committee appointments. So the composition of ACE is to have a member from each community that is a school board member on the ACE committee. And so we did lose one from Clifton and one from Eddington. So these are advisory committees, so I ask for volunteers and then I appoint. So first, Whitney, I'd like to start with you. Would you be willing to be appointed to the Advisory Committee on Efficiency for the remainder of the term of that committee? Thank you. Appreciate that. And next, I'd like to move on to our Clifton newly appointed, who's signing up for all kinds of things tonight. Jamie, we would be honored if you'd be willing to serve out the remainder of the term as the Clifton School Board representative on the ACE committee.
Absolutely.
Thank you for accepting. Amy, we've talked about you moving off of the ACE committee, as Chip was the Holden Select Board appointee and is the current serving chair of the ACE committee. Is there an interest in a resignation there?
Be happy to. Yes, please. I will resign.
We're good as a team.
Thank you. I accept your resignation. Chip, would you accept an appointment as the Holden School Board representative to the ACE committee?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Next up, Juliana Prentice has asked to remain on the ACE committee as the PTG representative, which she was initially appointed by them, but is now a school board member. I'd like to know what the will and pleasure of this school board is to allow her to continue to do so or not.
I have no issue with that.
I'd like to make this official with a motion, so it's on the record, please.
I make a motion to have Juliana Prentice remain as the PTG representative on the ACE committee.
Motion by Chip. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Rachel. Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. That is unanimous. And lastly, we are just waiting on the Holden Select Board for a new appointee. Hopefully we'll get that from them this month and we will update the website. Policy Committee. We did have one of the resigning members that was on that. I believe the person who just resigned was willing to sign up for something else, and that was part of the deal. Would you be willing to serve on the Policy Committee, Amy Hart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for accepting that. And that completes those assignments. Full disclosure to the public, we have some other appointments like liaisons with the high schools and the technical centers that haven't done a lot in years, so I think we need to go back and reevaluate that because what's the point of having an appointment if we're not going to be actively involved in it? So I think I'll save that for future discussion. We've got a couple openings there as well. All right, we're going to move on to personnel actions. We had some resignations and retirements. Jessica Knights, business manager, effective November 5th, 2025. Emmanuel Ruiz, Holden evening custodian, effective January 9th, 2026. Olga Connor, EdTech 1 pre-K, effective January 1st, 2026. I know. And I just wanted to save number 2 on the list for last. For those of you that don't know, Shelley Wyman has resigned. Her last day was last Friday. And I'd like to go on record and thank her for her tireless dedication to this district, to the central office, for keeping us kind of floating above water through some very difficult times. Shelley was truly somebody that's going to be hard to replace. We have some replacements in place, and we're going to get to them in a minute, and we're really excited because I think we've got some great people, but I think it's important to just take a minute to recognize the importance of having, I think really what she was the glue of the central office with the multitude of changes that we've had over the last year or two. And I quite often wonder if we would have made it in this district if she wasn't there. So we wish her the best in all of her new endeavors, for putting up with all of the stuff that we threw at her. I just thought it was a moment to really kind of recognize her for that. And maybe, even though she's not here, give her a round of applause. All right, moving on. We have some elections to do tonight. First up, we have Claire Warmoth, life skills teacher, Holden, pending certification from the Department of Education. Do I have a motion to elect Claire Warmoth as the Holden life skills teacher?
So moved.
Motion from Amy,
Second.
second from Chip. Is there discussion?
Is Claire here?
Is Claire here?
I didn't see it.
Okay. I was just going to ask her to stand so I could at least put a face to the name.
Trying to make him feel nervous, ain't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all. I just want to know.
She's fabulous.
Is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none. Oh, you didn't have this. Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Higher? Yeah, just kidding. That is unanimous. Thank you.
What if I raise my left?
Wouldn't count.
All right.
Next up, we have Christian Pirzada, STEM/RT1 teacher. Do I have a motion to elect Christian Pirzada as the STEM/RT1 teacher? RTI.
Is that for Holbrook?
Yeah.
Is that for Holbrook? Yes.
Also lovely.
So moved.
Second.
It looks like a one. I'm sorry, Krista. I have a motion. Where did that come from?
Rachel and Amy?
Rachel, and a second from Amy. Is there any discussion?
Is Christian here?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. That is unanimous, 8-0. Thank you. Next up, we have Hannah Crabtree, grade 3 teacher, which would be Holden, right?
Yep.
Do I have a motion to elect Hannah Crabtree as the grade 3 teacher?
So moved.
Motion from Rachel,
Second.
second from Chip.
I know she's here.
Hannah, would you like to stand up? Let's hold the applause till the vote. We're going to have to do the applause again. Great, thank you for standing, Hannah. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise a hand. That is unanimous, 8-0. All right, Hannah, now let's stand up and give you applause. Welcome to RSU 63.
Can I just clarify? Hannah and Claire both graduated in December, and Hannah just got her certification, and Claire's is coming. So they've been with us for a bit, and they're both doing an awesome job. So thank you.
Making good time.
And Hannah went to Holbrook, right?
Yeah, Hannah was from our district.
Oh, well, welcome home. All right, next up we have Lindsay Stranario. Did I say that right? No. Straniero?
Straniero.
Straniero? Straniero.
Stranera?
Stranero. Lindsay Stranero for business manager of RSU 63. Do I have a motion to elect Lindsay
So moved.
as the business manager? I have a motion from Rachel. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Juliana. Is there any discussion? Okay. All those in favor? That is unanimous. Lindsay, why don't you stand up so everyone can see us? Welcome to RSU 63. And sorry this took an extra week. All right, moving on. We have some appointments as well. We have Nicholas Osborne, girls A team basketball coach. Is Nicholas here?
He's
Okay.
playing basketball.
Oh, he's playing basketball, imagine. Ironic. We have Mindy Perry, who's our new bookkeeper. Mindy, would you stand up, please? Welcome. And we also have Carrie Schwabenbauer, administrative assistant to the superintendent. Welcome, Carrie.
First time I have a full staff central office, so.
I'd like to congratulate you on that. Looking forward to a good remainder of the year for sure. And it's fitting because it is budget season. So
Buckle up.
we have, what's that?
Ready.
I hope so. We have no reassignments this month, and we do have a few searches that we are continuing for, and you can find those on Serving School, and in some cases Indeed as well, if you know anyone that is looking for a job with the district. We are currently looking for a custodian for Holden, an EdTech 2 pre-K, a bus driver, an EdTech 3 special education resource room, EdTech 2 or 3 special education life skills in Holden, speech language pathologist district, and we are always looking for spare van drivers and bus drivers, aren't we, Zach?
Yeah.
Okay, at this point, we have come to the second executive session listed on here. So I would look to entertain a motion to enter into executive session, discussion of the employment of officials, appointees, employees pursuant to 1 MSRA 4056A.
So moved.
Motion from Chip. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Amy. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I would ask for a roll call vote from the superintendent.
Brittany?
Yes.
Juliana?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Whitney? Jamie?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Scott?
Yes. Vote is 8-0. The motion passes. We will enter into executive session. We will return shortly. Is George still here?
You want to play ball, Elizabeth? Yes. You didn't want to play ball with the boys?
Yeah, I heard. Actually, all right, I'm going to call this meeting back to order. The time is 8:25. Reminder to the board to speak up as we've lost our microphones. So we have ended our executive session, and I would this time entertain any possible action from the executive session.
I would like to make a motion to extend Sheila Caldwell's contract for 1 year to June 2027.
June 30th, could you please?
June 30th, 2027.
I have a motion on the floor to extend Superintendent Sheila Caldwell's contract by 1 additional year to June 30th, 2027. Do I have a second?
Second.
And a motion from Brittany. I have a second from Rachel. Is there any discussion?
Good luck.
I would ask for a roll call vote, and I will do this where this is for your position. Whitney? Juliana?
Yes.
Chip?
Yes.
Amy?
Yes.
Rachel?
Yes.
Jamie?
Yes.
Brittany?
Yes.
And I am a yes as well. The vote is 8, 4, and 0 opposed.
Nobody's here to see it.
So, it was being recorded, so just go on the Facebook page.
Thank you. I'll do my best, I promise.
At this point, that is the end of our agenda. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion from Amy, is there a second?
Second?
Second from Rachel, discussion? All those in favor? That is unanimous. Thank you to all.